Hello, it's Brent from PathandTarot, the YouTube channel as well as the blog of the same name, and we are going to be doing a tarot unboxing in this video for ancient Italian tarot, the entire tradition in Italy contained in a single deck. How cool is that? I am really excited because I just chose this deck off Amazon, sort of randomly, very quickly. I didn't think too much about it, didn't learn too much about it. I don't really know much about it, but we're going to find all of that out in this video. And in a strange way, I like to do that because it allows me to really put this deck to the test to see what I can learn about it just with the deck alone. So already that I'm handling it and looking at it, I can see that it's Lo Scarabeo, a very well-known tarot publisher, and it's Lelowin, yes, I think that's what it is. Very cool. Very popular tarot publisher, so this should be a pretty cool deck of substantial high quality. 78 traditional arcana with instructions for approaching the tarot readings. Very cool. So there will be a tarot booklet with this, I'm assuming, but we're going to find out. That's the cool thing about this. We get to see what's in this box and see if it walks the walk and talks the talk. We'll get the cards to speak to us at the end as well too. We'll do a tarot reading with just the major arcana. Like I'm not going to show you all of the cards. I'll show you a few key cards. We'll read with the major arcana cards at the very end, because that's a cool way of reading the cards, is just, you know, limiting yourself in that way. We'll get an interesting reading. We'll see what happens. And, you know, we'll look at the cards. We'll sort of inspect it in lots of ways and see how I feel about the cards here. So here we go. It's shrink wrapped, and we're going to open it up. Ooh, yeah, this is the cool part. This is, got my magic knife. So once we take the shrink wrap off, there's no going back. This is all in one take. So this is just like, oh, whoo, this is off the cuff. You just, I just do it. I just do these things. Start talking, see where you end up. I don't know. I probably missed a lot of things that I should have said, but that's too late because this is opened. Oh no, I cut into it. Shoot, I cut into the box a bit. No, no, it's okay. It's not that bad. Gotta be careful. All right, shrink wrap is off. I don't think I damaged the box too much, just a little bit. That's okay. So that's really not. It's not that bad. Not that bad. Not that bad. All right. Okay, I'll put this knife away. Safe. Okay, so here we go. So shrink wrapped on the actual deck itself. So that's kind of cool. I like shrink wrap is an interesting thing. Why do you talk about shrink wrap? Like, why? Well, it's kind of cool because it can tell you the state of the cards is, you know, when you get them. So this, let's see if the cards in here are shrink wrapped. I don't know if they are. Maybe they are. Ooh, they are. Perfect. They are shrink wrapped. So double shrink wrap. So it can tell you that the cards are fairly clean to the touch. It's not always the case, but it, you know, you can guess. So this is very cool. Yeah. Ancient Italian Tarot. So right away I'm getting a sense of the Tarot Italiana deck. A French deck, of course, but Italian and French, they are sort of the regional bearers of the tradition of tarot. So this is really cool. So this, it almost feels like it's like, you know, France and then Italy, they're like, you know, the brother and sister of tarot in a way. They're, or the prince and princess maybe. Which is which, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Page and Knight. Cool. All right. I like this. So here's the book. You can see the booklet. So there's a booklet in this, and that's great. So that's like a complete set, right? If you're going to get a tarot deck, you know, you do. It's nice to have the booklet. Getting a deck without a booklet's just kind of like getting something without instructions, right? Yeah, I mean, okay, if you know tarot, you've memorized it, and it's like, I don't know, you can read it. But it's nice to have like someone else's interpretation of the card, a different written account. It may say something similar, but it is a different account, and therefore it's something different. So let's open this up. Ooh. Yeah. All right. More shrink wrap. This is great. I wonder what the cards are going to feel like. Oops. Shrink wrap fell on the floor. Picked up and put in my pocket. Sorry, I knocked the camera there. You doing okay? Yeah, you're fine. All right, okay. All right, so we've got this bonus card. Whoa, yeah. Well, there's a bonus card here right on top, so there's usually like an extra. There tends to always be like an extra card in this deck. So this is cool. I like to see those hidden things. So it looks like we've got another card here. So this is, oh, Tarosophy, Tarot Association. Cool. So there's an advertisement for the Tarot Association, which may be in my near future, possibly. How interesting that I'm seeing that here in this video. Oh, tarotassociation.net. Check it out. Very cool. So there's sort of the publisher's edition. So 78 plus 2 cards. That's 80. That's like a good that's a good round number to send to the printing press. Awesome. So let's look at. Well, let's just kind of flip through the pamphlet or the little what do we call it? Booklet. The booklet. Seems like it's all here. Gives you a little quick history of the tarot. Traced back to the 15th century in Italy. It's possible that the tarot has older origins of that. And it is quite possible. The Egyptian civilization has had some ties to this, but historians have trouble really pinning tarot down to have like a definite beginning or a what do you call it, like a genealogy in a way, like what's the exact beginnings of tarot. So really historians have to sort of concede that the 15th century is kind of where most of it kind of came together, which is good enough. Golden Dawn talks about the Golden Dawn here. 18th century, yes, okay, pre-Christian era. Cool. So it seems like it gives you a nice little introduction here, and then it gives you the meaning of the cards. So this is a fairly complete experience. You really just need to know what the cards mean, and you just have to make your own stories with the cards, and that's how it is. That's how you work with the tarot. You're telling yourself stories through the cards, and this allows you to do that. So let's see if there's anything else. It looks like it's just the rest of this booklet is really just other languages. So you have just a small part of that is dedicated to giving you what you need to know, which is just the meanings of the cards. So just begin this kind of part. The rest of this is just other languages. Not sure what other languages. French, Italian, maybe German. Let's just look through this real quick. I feel like that's the case. I'm not a language expert by any means. Okay, well that is about it. So it looks like this is a 1880 replica, I'm guessing. Cartiera Italiana, 1880. Serravalle Sesia. Oh, I really don't know if I pronounced that. I probably butchered that. I'm sorry. I do English and bad English. That's about it. Copyright 2010, Lo Scarabeo. This is cool. Translations. They did translation. Oh, Portuguese. Okay. Art Tarot collection edited by Pietro Alligo. Marketing by Mario Pignatiello. Sorry if I mispronounced it. So it looks like this is more of a reproduction, I think, of an original deck from the 1800s. That's what I feel like this is. Well, there's a tarot spread that is embedded into this here too. That's very cool. Does it talk about what that tarot spread is? I don't know. Huh. Okay, great. Well, there we go. So this is a wonderful addition to some of the other decks that I have. The Tarot Italiana deck. I think these two decks will be used together quite often. I feel it's good to have more than one tarot deck. I thought when I very first started with tarot that you maybe only need to have one deck. Maybe that's the one you have to like stay faithful to. But no, that's not the case. You can have lots and lots of tarot decks, and in fact, it's actually beneficial to do a reading for yourself with more than one deck. You're going to want to clarify what you're finding out with the other decks that are freshly shuffled and ready to go. Just thumbing through the minor arcana here, and it looks like it's all here. Even though this is another language, beyond English, Italian, it's still, it's what? The kings are here, queens. So it's more, this falls into, actually here, I can even show you what these cards look like using another tarot deck, which is going to be the same style as this tarot deck. So you're going to see the court cards look like that almost. Actually, we can even do that. I'll find you the King of Cups in this tarot deck, and you'll see what I mean. So there's a very similar style that's being utilized in this tarot deck. So it's almost the same. I mean, you could even make an argument that it's exactly the same, almost 100% the same. But of course, you could argue that, well, there's more detail in the other tarot deck, the ancient Italian tarot. It's much more nuanced with shadings and lines, but it's the exact same pose. This is a French card. I've renamed it in English here because I chose to do that. I did a customization. But yeah, very interesting. So this is this style of card would be Tarot de Marseilles style, where you've got the minor arcana cards as pips, so as symbols like this. I'll show you just a few. These are the cups. So they don't have images on them like the Waite-Smith cards that maybe you have been used to. These cards are a little bit different. An older style of card, you could say, which I find fascinating because that represents the gaming element of the tarot cards, representing the history of the cards too. These tarot cards, the gaming and the divinity elements are sort of just mushed together. You don't know what came first. The tarot cards were used as a game to hide the fact that you could fortune tell with them, but what came first? I don't know. It's an interesting relationship. So playing games with these cards, is possible to do, because you could play the game of tarot, jeu de tarot, if you wanted to. So it's easier to do that when the pip cards are just the way they are. It's easier to see if you've got a trump in your hand, or a major arcana card. So here we go, the Fool. Well, maybe I will show you a few of these, because these are a really cool design. The art style is quite intricate, and yes, this is pretty much like this deck here, the CBD tarot deck that I've custom printed. It's a Creative Commons deck, which is fantastic. Anyone can use it. Yeah, I would say the design of these cards is exactly like what you'll find in the CBD tarot deck. So these are pretty much the same. You'll also notice the design is very much like the Waite-Smith style. So they're all kind of drawing from the same style, which is really cool. So there's a continuous style that's always apparent in tarot. Which I think is fascinating. It's almost like a universal thing that just is carried through tarot traditions. Maybe not universal, it probably can change, but it's something that's just carried through, to create the history of tarot, the genealogy of tarot, how things evolve from each other. The path of influence. So this is cool. It's all here. All these cards I did I thumbed through and I counted. They're all here. What else is what else can we look at? The back. There's the back design. Very, very awesome. I love this. I mean, I am just in love with these cards like immediately. This is great. I like how things are numbered. It's just a little unusual, but it works really well. It seems like there's some symbols that make the card symmetrical in a way. So let's look at this. So look at the top. You've got the numeric, the Roman numeral. Sorry, it's hard to think. Roman numeral, and then these numbers. Oh shoot, what is it? Arabic style. Is that how it is? Oh shoot, I'm not sure. Anyways, 7. The number 7, the 7 that we're all used to, it's here. So they're both there, but then you flip it upside down and it's still there too. So they've made a symmetrical design choice, which I like. I like symmetry. Symmetry is an interesting thing to look at. And if we look at the back, we see a high level of symmetry too. So that's really cool to note. Now it's you can use that information to tell whether or not you should read the cards with reversals in mind. If you see the back design is non-symmetrical, maybe that gives you like a hint well, maybe they should be read in all in upright fashion. But because this has symmetry, maybe you can do reversals. If you chose to. I mean, it's really up to you. You can make whatever choice you want. Is there reversal meanings in this? Yes, there is. So this deck can be read with reversals in mind, meaning that the card is upside down. You read it for what it means if it's upside down. And that's up to you to interpret. Sometimes readers like to just use the upside down meaning as the just unrealized version of what the card is right side up. Or there's other meanings that are actually written here into the guidebook that you can use specifically. So the upside down hermit could mean misanthropy, self-pity, rashness, recklessness, stubbornness. The hermit right side up is prudence, silence, austerity, solitude. All the symbolic meanings that come with it. So we've got the major arcana cards. Let's talk about the feel of the cards. It feels very nice. Very smooth. They feel quite clean. Coming from the double shrink wrapped, it feels like I could use these cards almost immediately. And the size feels really good. I like the size of this card. Like it's like the Goldilocks sweet zone. It's not too big. It's not too small. I prefer smaller cards personally. My hands aren't that big. It fits into my hand. I'm an average size person, really. I mean, I'm not very tall, but the bigger the deck, the more unwieldy it is for me. I can still work with bigger decks. That's fine. But I feel like these cards are going to be easy to work with. So let's look at the size comparison. So let's use a playing card, just bicycle playing card. This fits inside the card very easy. So it's at least a little bigger in width, but much taller, of course. So that's really the main difference between playing cards and tarot cards, is that they're much taller. Even the French tarot cards, the cards used for playing the game specifically, they are also tall as well. So it follows the same style. So we have that. And then, hey, let's pull out our, the CBD tarot, the king. Actually, let's use the Ace of Wands. Why not, right? So there's Ace of Wands. So this is a card from Make Playing Cards. So I got Make Playing Cards to do the print on these, and I like the design. It's very nice. So this is what Make Playing Cards deems a default tarot size. So that's a good representation of what the average tarot card size is. And it looks like this card fits just inside of it, so it's pretty much the same size. It's the Make Playing Card cardstock is a little bit wider, but they're pretty much the same height. So let's just go through and see. Centimeters, 12 centimeters tall. 12 centimeters tall. So yeah, they're the exact same height. So this is going to be probably a little bit wider. So this is about 7 centimeters wide. And our Fool here, you are quite foolish, Mr. Fool. About 6.5. Yeah, about that. So playing card, let's see how big a playing card is. Just under 9 centimeters tall. Or high, or I don't know. Tall, width, tall, wide, I don't know. Just over 6 centimeters wide. So there you go. That's sort of two examples of size that you may be familiar with to get an idea of the size of this card. So there you go. All right. That covers most of it. Is there anything we missed? Anything? I didn't read what this says. Ancient Italian tarot. So it's just it says the same thing in multiple languages. I think that's pretty much it. That's it. The box. I like the color green. Green's a really good color. What else is there on the box? Did I miss anything? No, that's pretty much it. Overall, super impressive. I love these cards. This is really, really cool. Yeah, these designs are great. Familiar, yet just slightly more appealing. I don't know. I mean, this is. I mean, you could argue, well, hey, it's like the same. It's like the same deck. There, you know, why do I get this deck if I've printed this one? Or you could buy this deck. You know, if you wanted to, or you can print it yourself. You're allowed to print it. But anyways, like, well, why get this? Well, it's slightly different, and that may just be enough to sort of fool your unconscious, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, let's get into the reading. So, I urge you to think of something as the viewer to ask the cards. I'll shuffle these up as best I can. And while I shuffle it, I'll try and think of something too. I'll try and think of something to ask. Maybe we can ask... What can we ask? What will it take to get to the next level for this channel? What's the next step that we need to take? What do we got to do? I feel like that's maybe a good question to ask. We can do a little bit of self-diagnosis here, maybe with the cards. And that's the cool thing about tarot, the poor man's psychologist. Kind of an old phrase, but somewhat true. A deck to reveal to yourself things that maybe you don't want to admit, maybe. Unraveling your subconscious. Great stuff. Like, really, the tarot deck is like just an incredible thing, an incredible gift to humanity through art. A way to self-diagnose, look deeper into yourself, tap into the collective unconscious, find out things that you may not have otherwise been able to find out, Not exactly see the future, but see the potential of what could be and either choose to realize it or change it. A cool thing about tarot reading is that it's never quite telling you the future, it's just telling you what's possible. The subtle suggestions, the gentle advice of, maybe something like how your parents give you advice. Like they're just giving you a suggestion, things that are in your best interest. You don't have to follow the advice exactly, and sometimes you shouldn't. That's another cool thing, is that sometimes you shouldn't follow advice. Sometimes you just need to learn the hard way. And, just taking someone's word for it can save you, but maybe it robs you of an experience that would be otherwise extremely valuable for you to have. So, random sage advice, here in this unboxing video. Sometimes it's just better to learn the hard way on your own so that you have that experience, which will allow you, as you get older, to pass on that experience because you've learned it the hard way. You know the whole scope of it, the emotional involvement of what it is you've learned, that lesson, that piece of advice that you chose to ignore and have now mastered because you've overcome it and you never have to face that challenge again because you've learned from that experience. Cool thing, right? Yeah. Alright, so that's how you can think of tarot. as a way to learn life lessons through the cards. So this feels pretty shuffled. So what were we asking? What was the question? Yeah. What could we what's it gonna take to maybe get to the next step? Like what's the next step for this channel? Like I don't know. Like this is a really cool project that I've been fortunate to be able to work on all year 2020. What a year this has been, right? So what we're gonna do with this spread, just something real simple, nothing really specific, just, you know, really, we're gonna play with symmetry here, because symmetry is it's a cool thing. We're gonna draw a card and just make a cross or star. I don't know how, mostly a cross. And then we'll draw the final card in the center, so we have 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll read with that, see what we get, and then I'll show you the cards more closely as we read with them, so you'll get just a handful of cards to see as your sneak peek. So the Hermit. Ooh, interesting. The Hermit. I mean, right there, that tells me that I have a lot of work to do. It's self-work. I have to really, you know, buckle down a bit. Death. Ooh, Death. What a cool representation of death. Like skeleton with the grim scythe, sweeping away all of the material worldly possessions. What an interesting depiction that is. That's somewhat common. We'll see that, of course, in the Tarot de Marseilles style, or CBD Tarot more specifically, where death is sweeping away things. You'll see that in the Aleister Crowley Tarot deck. Frida Harris, is that it? Yes, I think it is. Ooh, I could get called out for that. I don't know. But anyways, it's the same, you know, imagery. The image is similar, and so this is cool. A human skeleton. A human skeleton. That's important to know. Human. So Hermit, Death. So something I have to buckle down in something. Stay, you know, hermit in. You know, the hermit is almost like a you know, it means something more than what it means. Like, you know, I'm going to hermit tonight. I'm going to stay inside and just, you know, watch a movie in my sweatpants and chill out. Hermiting, staying in by yourself, learning, self-learning. But something has to die. Something has to be reimagined in maybe in some way, so that I can become the magician. Il Bagato. Ooh, Il Baccato. I can't do that. Sorry, can't do Italian. I can't do it. Il Tradisi. Oh man. Sorry, I can't do other languages. I can do English and I can do bad English. And then we've got the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, cool. This is a good reading. This is an interesting reading. It's speaking. We're learning a lot, I think. And then what's the last card? The Tower. Wow. My goodness. So this is cool. This tells kind of a neat story. The Hermit. I have to be the hermit until I become the magician here. The Wheel of Fortune is up top because anything can happen. Something I have to be shaken out of my boots in some way, and something has to die in order to become something new, the magician. What is that? I don't know. The Wheel of Fortune kind of says it could be anything. Maybe. Something will happen. Something will be given. I'll achieve something in some way. What does the book say? Undeserved success. Interesting. Through prosperousness. Hermit. Spiritual searching. That makes sense. Sudden change. Yeah, death. That makes sense. Tower. Collapse of conventions. Shattered equilibrium. So all these images are very helpful in being able to remember what these cards mean. So the Tower, this is a really cool depiction of the Tower. I like it a lot. This is great. Yeah. Lightning bolt destroys the tower that you've created. So something has to be given up in order to take the next step. Whatever that is, I don't know. Maybe it's work-life balance. We all have a day job to pay the bills. Maybe that has to sort of come into balance maybe, but I don't see any note of balance. Something's gonna happen, but it ties into fortune, I think. Something that I don't deserve maybe will happen. I don't know. Strange. This is kind of a mysterious reading, but I wonder what you asked. Did you ask a question? Did that answer anything for you? Tell me in the comments below. That would be kind of interesting. We'll see if that does anything. And this is recorded, so this will stay here on YouTube over long periods of time, but you could still use this as a way to deliver a message to yourself sometime in the future. Or future people will come across this and uncover it for the first time, and it will be a new experience for them. So it won't matter that this is recorded here in November in 2020. It may still deliver something of value to you many years later. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Make a comment below if you see this and it strikes you in any way. There'll be links at the bottom for resources on how to learn tarot. Go to my blog and read interesting articles about tarot and other mystical things. You'll be able to have resources to acquire these cards as well too. So overall, this is a fantastic deck that I very highly recommend if you can find it. I got this on Amazon. And as an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. I do have to say that. But pick this up. There'll be a link below for that. Check it out. I like this deck a lot. This is great. I'm excited to work with this. This will be a nice addition to the collection here. So stay well read, and I'll see you out there. Oops, I knocked the camera. Okay, bye.